Um, Hop back on. I'll answer a few questions that I've been getting throughout the past week, 10 days, whatever. Um, been staying a little busy, but I did want to address the one question that a lot of people have, with amino asylum. I don't know if Google or YouTube is going to like demonetize me for this. It's not going to even make any money on my YouTube, but they might shadow ban me or something. Um, let's see, two, one. Me too. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. First off, I did want to go ahead and say, like, Amino Asylum does have their website back up, obviously with nothing on here. Now, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes again with this whole FDA rating them. Again, they've been on the FDA radar for quite a while. They're very popular. They made a lot of suggestions that the research chemicals they sold were for human use and that they had benefits for human use. And they, if it's a fat burner, it made you burn fat. If it's a growth factor, it made you grow muscle rather than saying it's research. And these are the things that this can physiologically do based on our studies. But again, they're not for human consumption. This is just theoretically what they could do. So, and they also sold SARMs and possibly other things. We don't really know. So they are probably going to rename themselves or do something. But if you're an affiliate like myself, if you like I was, you're probably not going to get paid whatever you're owed. That's my assumption. So if you do, that's cool. This thing will go away. All right. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was like who I'm with, and that is Paramount Peptides. And you can go to Instagram. So this is just my Instagram, whatever. So if you go to my profile, I have a link for my link tree. Click on that link. These are all the things that corresponds with me, right? Okay. So at the very top, we have my Venmo. Yes, it's $100 an hour for consultation. If you just have, like, you DM me, hey, I want to consult, I'll send you the email that I use. I use Proton Mail because it's encrypted. And if you have a question about your blood work and then the peptides or lifestyle changes or nutrition changes or PEDs, like that's where that mail you can send me the blood work. Because again, without blood work, we're throwing darts at the wall, right? Um, and then we can go over a plan, but you send it to me first so I can look over it so that that hour is not me just reading through your blood work, right? And you can tell me as much as you can in the DM. So I have information. And then when we get on the consult call, I'm able to provide you with items to use, maybe um, like ways that you can implement new lifestyle changes, right? And you can have results that you're expecting. So you can do this as many times as you want, or you can hire me monthly. That will go up based on your needs, and you can pay month by month, and you can cancel anytime. So that's how we do it. If you wanted to pay months in advance, then you can get a slight discount, but I'm not refunding if you decide not to check in with me or respond to my emails. Now, here, Paramount Peptides, this is what I am referring to. When you click the link, it will say you are shopping with Andrew Nolan. That's me. Please, if you order with Paramount, I do not have a discount code. Okay. So to support me and to support me helping you with free information whenever you ask me questions, please complete your purchase on this link. Do not fill this cart and do not get an account, fill your card up, exit, and then go to a different browser and check out because I will not get any credit. Paramount will not see that I sent you to Paramount. So I will get zero referral dollars. Okay. And that is how this is kind of like the base of how I am going to continue to be able to have to use my free time and eventually start up a clinic online uh, and one here in the Siena area outside of Houston. Private MD Labs. This is where I recommend blood work. I've been using them for a very, very long time. And you go to Quest and you can have all of your blood work on Quest and it shows trends in all of your blood work. So this is really important. And blood work is needed to get more out of consultation and out of whatever you're going to be using as far as peptides, PEDs, or nutrition. Examine. You can sign up for an Examine membership so that the things that I tell you during consultation, if you have questions, you will have full access to all research on supplementation or herbals, Adidaric. They even have some peptides on here too. So they're always expanding and you can get a year's membership. Just use my link again. Link. You have to complete it through the link. Revive, Raw, Chemex. These are supplement companies I have been with for a very, very long time. Again, using my codes will help me out tremendously. Chemex, my main thing that I use here is the quarter block. So this Emodan to help reduce cortisol. It can also speed up gut transient time. So if you go to Paramount and you're trying to reduce hunger, the craving sensation, it will slow down your GI tract. Now, we don't want so much slowing down that you possibly create GERD or a SIBO. So you can get the benefits with some of the GLPs because it will have a mental effect. Now, it's not going to be like Cagrilotide, where it's an amylin receptor agonist, right? Where that works on the brain. But the gut works with the brain. So if you don't want to have the risk of constipation, if you're taking semaglutide, then you can mix your semaglutide at a dose that I recommend based on consultation, and then you can use some quarter block to make sure that that speeds up your GI tract, but not enough to where it is going to impede on the reducing hunger. So that's a little, trick that you can do. Okay. And they also have EAAs and pre-workouts and protein powders and organ health. And Chemex has a great organ support as well. It has nattokinase in there. So if you're allergic to soy, don't get that one. It's that nattokinase is soy derivative. It's how they get the compounds to help with your cardiovascular health. My Spotify workout playlist, if you like screamo music or some rap on there. And then my Instagram, my YouTube, which you're watching now, and then my Amazon page, which I have not updated it in quite a while, but nevertheless, there's some items on there that you can look at what I will get if I'm shopping on Amazon sometimes. All right, so that's that. So the biggest thing is the Paramount peptides. Now, why did I choose them? I chose them because uh, they are manufactured here in America, and I need to make sure that we have quality. And they also provide a lot of information and continual education for people who are part of Paramount. And um, the purity is where I want to be with these companies. Amino Asylum sometimes have very affordable and compounds and peptides, but the sourcing was kind of unsure. And so I like to, the longer I'm in this and the more that I'm using these peptides, so like again, I'm still using SLU, I'm using Retatrutide, using methylene blue, and yes, that's it, right? But the Retatrutide and the SLU, I think, are phenomenal. Motzi is another one that I will probably introduce soon. Not yet, but I don't find that I need it right now. But any like those things besides methylene blue, BPC, and all that stuff, you can find on Paramount. Now, what's going on with uh, the Retatrutide and SLU experiment? So the Paramount, they have tablets. It's a milligram per tab of SLU. Um, I am now upping my dose from 500 micrograms to 1 milligram. I'm just not splitting the pills. And I was like, okay, let me see what this happens. And I just take one dose in the morning, or I could do 500, 500 and split them up, but I just do one dose in the morning. And it's definitely making me sweat a lot hotter in the morning. And I do see with since I've started them within a week, I've seen a little less inflammation, so a little less water. I don't believe it's fat loss, but kind of water is not building up around my midsection as much because of like, when you get done training, you do create a lot of inflammation. I'm also taking some arachidonic acid, so some fats, because I don't get a lot of fats in my diet. So I'm taking that before I work out on certain days. And instead of having systemic inflammation affect post-workout, it seems to keep it localized in that one area, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm really focused in on this mitochondrial health and getting rid of mitochondrial dysfunction. I do not call myself a biohacker. I do not call myself an influencer. I am not a doctor. Um, so I do not diagnose people, but what I can say is from what I have been feeling, like I'm 36 now, and I feel like I'm in my 20s again, right? These, the energy levels, the quality of my skin. I mean, it's amazing, and I really think that the retatrutide and the SLU together and the methylene blue is just it's such a wonderful um, stack to be using. And I am using growth hormone, but I'm using 2 IUs. I went up to 3 IUs, and then I'm so sensitive to these things. Um, I backed it back down to 2 because I was noticing again a little bit more like water retention from the uh, the growth hormone. I'm very, very sensitive. Like even when I was using Cerestim, I was only using 1 milligram and working back with coaches, competing. Like I never went over 4. So I'm just very sensitive. And I don't know if that's just because of the whole history that I had growing up, being in all the medicines that they gave me as a child, and they gave me adult doses of things causing like Cushing's disease and such. I don't. I just think it kind of screwed me up, and so I'm going to go ahead and continue trying to get uh, get my mitochondrial on optimal levels, which that's what I'm assuming is going on. I don't have proof. No one has proof that your mitochondrial is functioning way better. We can go through different blood works. We can go with the Dutch test. I mean, we can go with muscle biopsies. We can have all these things that we could do, CT scans and such, but fMRIs. But we don't really know, right? So we're going by feeling, and then also observation. So, um, and when we're observing, I don't mean just like what our body looks like, but observing like how is our digestion? What is our stool looking like? How is my mental fortitude? Do I have these addictive behaviors? Can I redirect my focus? Do I have enough energy throughout the day to to be a good employee, to be a good husband and wife, or father, mother? Uh, do I have enough energy to give to everything I need to? Because balance is a huge thing that people talk about, and how you cannot have balance if you are trying to build something. And I believe that that is true. I don't think you can have balance to be the greatest at something. You have to give less to something, right? But um, I think we can optimize the amount of energy that we don't give that much attention to when we are striving and we're obsessed to be the best. Um, but and so the next plans for me is and the Retatrutide, I'm still on 1 milligram. I'm holding true to what I see, and I don't see for me and some of the people that I work with going up. I just don't. So you're saving a lot of money, but you're also reaping so much of the benefits. If you decide to go up, I'm a big fan of titrating up very slowly, slower than other people. So I would go to 1.5, do that for about 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and then go to two if you need to. But if you're really just looking for the reduction of hunger alongside retatrutide, I would stick with 1 milligram of retatrutide and then do point like 0.25 of semaglutide, right? It's a very, very low dose. So semaglutide, I mean, when you go up to 2 milligrams, like that can make you very, very nauseous. And it can slow down your GI tract a lot because it's that's the purpose of it, right? So you can mix those two, cagrilintide, you can mix with retatrutide, but again, we're doing the smallest doses possible. Or you can take testofen, which is an oral tablet. You can do 250 to 500 micrograms a day. So it's up to you. Retatrutide plus testofen, you can get on Paramount, and just take those together, and that you can really reduce that hunger if that's your main thing. But I think as far as like helping cholesterol, organ health, insulin sensitivity, I think that's the biggest thing that we need to look at is blood glucose and insulin sensitivity. How I'm a big believer, like I've always said, that our blood glucose and insulin sensitivity is really making uh, our other organs numbers on blood work appear what they are. So if you have uh, poor kidney function, I believe insulin resistance is a big key to that. High blood pressure, you have high triglycerides, you have very high ratios of LDL to HDL. I don't. What's your ApoB look like? What's your ApoA look like? All these factors, I think, really comes down to how is our how healthy is our pancreas, and what's that insulin and blood glucose looking like? And it's hard to track on CGMs because everyone gets a different reading. It's kind of like giving your blood pressure, right? Have you? I would just continue to move your CGM around everywhere, and then like have an Excel spreadsheet and just take a few recordings. Or I think those CGMs even have that data saved. See the trends. Now, maybe your arm on the back of your tricep and then your your leg, maybe those read differently. Is it how much body fat's around that area? Do you have scar tissue around that area? How about the left to the right arm? Is it the blood flow that's causing that difference? Or again, some people or everyone is not symmetrical. So we might have a little bit more lean tissue on one side versus the other. But get a grasp of like what these differences are. If you go and you get your blood pressure, there's a different blood pressure reading for your arm versus your wrist versus your leg. So, and then if you are have more body fat around your arm versus if you have more muscle, there's different readings, right? And so you have to make adjustments for that. And unfortunately, people in the medical field don't really take that into account. It's either because they're unaware or they just don't really care because it's not that big of a deal, right? Unless you are exhibiting symptoms like physical symptoms, right? I think that's sometimes a little bit more important when it comes to certain diseases or certain ailments that we might have. Um, Again, not always the case, but when it comes to blood pressure, if you're if you're a tomato or you're purple, like I'm going to know that there's a bigger issue if you have folds within your these creases in your ears, how your nose is, the vascular system appearance. There's way more ways to tell if you're a healthy or unhealthy individual versus what does that device read these your blood pressure right now. Okay, um, and that and so someone else was telling me again about like just the improved levels of energy that they had throughout the days, and it made them realize, right, that they had more energy. They had more energy throughout the day, um, with the Retatrutide, the SLU, and the methylene blue. Look, there's methylene blue right there. I do the capsules is what I prefer, or tablet. You can do this, that's fine. You can dilute it in water. You can add it some flavoring if you want to. It's totally fine. But I like really hate the this Factor Meals um, commercials on YouTube. Because it talks about how, like, I don't have any time throughout the week to make my meals. Oh, now that I'm empty nester, I'm never going to cook again for myself. I have so much free time. I tell you what, man, getting rid of something that you're doing like this, like it doesn't take that long of a time to meal prep. And they're such basic foods and they're probably not even that great. I haven't had them personally, but every meal prep place that I've had has been terrible. And I've tried them since the beginning. And they are not worth the money. Okay. I mean, you can make all these things on here are so easy to make. You can make it in bulk and then you can freeze some of them or leave some of them unfrozen and it'll taste just as well. Salmon, you don't have to, you can just put throw that in the air fryer. Chicken, if it's just you, throw it in the air fryer. Why do you need a meal prep company, whatever it takes you, if I meal prep for myself, it takes me like less than an hour um, to do all these things. If I'm doing larger meal prep and I have to be on the grill for a while, yeah, it's gonna take me longer, but I can do other things while my chicken is grilling, right? Or my steak is grilling, whatever you want. You just cook enough for a specific amount of time, but you don't have less hours in a day than somebody else. So I just find these companies as being very dumb when it comes to marketing, and they're trying to tell you they're basically telling you that you have the inability to manage time and you're lazy. That's what they're telling you, which you know, and you buy these things and you're like, yeah, I am lazy. Yeah, I don't use my time well. So I would just avoid that. Get kitchen skills, get cooking skills, keep it up and keep occupied. You can listen to podcasts, watch TV. You can do all that. It's relaxing to cook. It's relaxing to wash dishes. It's relaxing to do all that for yourself, for your others, and for your kids. If you make such a big deal about it and you hate it, then you're going to have a bad time. And that's all I got to say about that. The next thing is people are talking to me about how much I spend on supplementation and per month. And again, whenever I go to places like this, Natural Body Inc., okay, they have a clearance section. I like to buy things. So if I don't have, sometimes people give me stuff for free. Some friends, that's great. I give them stuff for free, so we exchange things. But I don't know the last time I bought stuff for full price. I always use coupons. I always stock up on big sales. Like a Pro just had a big sale going on. So once you stock up, I mean, look for these opportunities. So then whenever let's say you spend $500 one month, but then the next month, you only need a few fundamental items, betaine HCl, vitamin C, alpha lipoic acid. Maybe you buy that every 2 months off of Amazon for help with digestion, right? And so now you spend, 60 bucks, 70 bucks. And then you spend $100 the next month. And then you spend 20 bucks. And then you spend, another 500 bucks. You're going to be averaging out to like 200 bucks a month on supplementations. And that's including proteins, pills for you, yourself, your spouse, your kids, multivitamins, all these different things. So pre-workouts. So pre-workouts, protein powders. I mean, I would consider that food. I don't even consider that supplements. Supplements, I consider pre-workouts, amino acids, vitamins, liver care, kidney care, all these things. But again, they're going to give you really, really great deals on these things. Okay. It's like the original price, 55 bucks, boom, 30 bucks. Okay. You're saving these things. You can stock up, man. I mean, stock up on a really good pre-workout that's really focused on focus. So, this is what you have to do. Just stock up, man. And the things like this change all the time. So, I mean, you can boom, boom. Look at that Axe Sledge. Looks real. This is freaking good. This pump product is really, really good. Save 40%, 40%. And look, they're still in stock. There's one available. So this is what I recommend doing. And then you don't always need everything under the sun. Okay. If you're again, like when do you ever see a pollen on sale, this cheap. When do you ever see it? You don't, you know what I mean? Has butyric acid in there, the tributylin. So um, that's what I would recommend. Okay, do stuff like that. You can find them on Instagram. They're always somewhere on Instagram, right? They just popped up on my stories. Okay, and then they'll even tell you what's going on, right? So that's one of the and he answers questions, right? That's Tim. He's I guess one of the owners or something. But um, oh, I think I didn't even show you, but wasn't even sharing my screen. But follow them on Instagram and shop with them. There's many other places, DPS Nutrition, Best Price Nutrition. They all have clearance sections on there all the time. Amazon on Amazon Prime Day, if you have Prime, that's a way that I would use it. So those are just kind of the things I wanted to address. They were just kind of like, um, questions that people had, and nothing really specific that I wanted to get into as far as like blood work or peptides or drug related or nutrition related. I'm kind of disappointed that a lot of people don't have a lot of nutrition questions because that's really what I love to talk about is nutrition. And yeah, so that's about it today. My headphones are about to die. So like, share, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share to your friends and follow me on Instagram as well. So you can DM me if you can get my link tree and see what I can offer you. So if you're looking to improve your life, optimize your life, trust me, I really don't advertise myself or market myself. Um, but now I feel like I need to because I'm spending so much time giving away free advice. And this does take effort and it takes mental effort from me, which can take away from my family or the other things that I do because I get so invested in other people's lives. So hopefully made it to the end. Please, follow me and don't be afraid to reach out and optimize whatever issue